Hi kindergartners, it's Miss May, and last week we had a lot of kindergartners who had some really awesome questions about fish, so I thought that I would make a video to help answer some of those questions. So Cam wanted to know how fish swim, and that is an excellent question. So fish have bodies that are made for the water. So they have something called gills instead of lungs, which we have to help them breathe under the water. When we go swimming, we have to take big, deep breaths before we go under the water. But the fish can stay under the water because they have these gills. They also have fins, which help them swim faster and move through the water. They also have eyes that can stay open under the water all the time. Another really cool thing about fish is they have this air bubble inside of them that helps them swim. So sometimes when we go swimming, it's really hard to stay at the top of the water. We have to move our arms and we have to move our legs in order to stay floating at the surface. But fish have a bubble inside of them, kind of like the floaties we wear into the water, that they can make bigger in order to float up towards the surface, or they can make their floaty smaller and it will bring them further down in the water. Maya also had an amazing question. She wanted to know, how do fish grow? So fish grow really similarly to humans. Most fish have bones in their body, so as those bones get bigger, their body will too. And just like humans, if they're healthy and they're eating a lot of healthy and nutritious food for them, then their body will get big and strong. Now, some animals that live in the water can get really big, like whales and sharks and other types of fish. And that's because they live in the water. So when you live in the water, you can be as heavy as you want, and you can still get your body to move. So it would be like if I asked you to pick up a really, really heavy box. That could be really hard, especially to do it all by yourself. But if you put that box in the water, you could probably pick it up really easily. You might even be able to pick up two really heavy boxes if they're in the water. Because in the water, everything's just a little bit lighter, which is how whales and sharks and some fish, not all fish, can grow super big and still move around. So even though whales aren't fish, they're mammals, we're going to talk about whales for just a little bit because they are the biggest animals in the world. The biggest whale, a blue whale, can weigh as much as 40 elephants. 40 elephants! That is a really, really big animal. Also, pet goldfish, maybe like one you have at home, can get really big. If you put it in enough space, the goldfish can grow and grow and grow. So when things are out in the open ocean, they have as much space as they need to grow super, super big. Not all fish are super big. Some fish grow up and they're still super, super tiny. That's because not all fish need to be big in order to have a happy life. Sometimes fish need to be small so that they're good at hiding, or that they can move really, really fast. Sometimes when fish are super small, they can hang out in big groups called schools, which will help them protect themselves even if they're not that big. Did you know that fish go to school too? Isla wanted to know how fish are born, and that's a super interesting question. So fish are born from eggs, kind of like a chicken egg. But chickens usually will lay 1 or 2 eggs, and fish can lay as much as 300,000 eggs at the same time. Some fish will lay less, but the fish that lays the most eggs can lay up to 300,000. That's 300,000 baby fish. That is really cool. Thank you, boys and girls, for your amazing questions. I hope you learned some new things about fish today and the ocean, and I'm really looking forward to answering some more of your questions this week. Bye!